But we need a word police to police us.
Okay, Kris is there for people to protect them.
Because the activities of our politicians is becoming unbearable. But what is really exciting is the debate surrounding our nation. We're going to be free. Is that we're going to reform the judiciary or we're going to need external help? External help indeed. Well, today is not a time for external help. It's a day for internal help. My name is Kris, and this is the African Renaissance Television. I am reaching you from London. The show is State of the Nation. Unlike Weekly Bulletin, it is State of the Nation because I'm in the presence of greatness. Unlike before, today we're going to meet somebody really, really important. I call him the #1 citizen of Nigerians in the UK. He is the president of all the associations put together in the United Kingdom. It is called CANUK. It's called the Association of all Nigerians. We call it the central body of all the associations. So if you have an association in the UK and you are not a part of CANUK, then you are not in the UK. It's not even a recognized association. As far as the Nigerian embassy is concerned, as far as we are concerned, as far as the Nigerian authority is concerned, as far as we Nigerians are concerned, that is the body we know. Today, we are opportune to have the president with us. He's going to talk us through everything you need to know. Let me get out of the screen quickly and bring in our chairman. He's somebody you can't get him wrong. He's Honorable Dr. Lily. He's going to introduce himself better because sometimes, even as a Nigerian, I'm still finding it difficult to pronounce some of the names right. Very good day to you, sir. You're welcome to this morning show.
Good morning, Daddy Kris. It's a privilege to be on SRTV this morning live. And thank you for giving me the mic, as it were. So I'll just state briefly that my name is Honorable Dr. Iliyasu Maisanda, and I'm the chairman, president. There are so many titles, they always get them all together for the Central Association of Nigerians United Kingdom, CANUK for short.
Wonderful. Sometimes, forgive me, I'll be calling you president, I'll be calling you chairman. My people say, what's the difference? They are the same, one on one. So if I call president, if I call chairman, I'm referring to the same person for those of you who will be joining me today. Yes, Mr. President, please tell us first a little bit about yourself, because now then we're going to talk about CANUK, but who is our new chairman so that we get to know you, we know who is leading us at this difficult or beautiful time. I won't call it a difficult time, it's a beautiful time.
Yeah, so a little bit of background about me. I mentioned my name earlier. I am a Nigerian, true Nigerian, born and bred in Nigeria, educated in Nigeria, partially up to my A levels for those who are a certain age, perhaps you can say up to HSC level, but A levels, shall I say. And I came to the UK when I was a teenager to study mining engineering in Cornwall, which was one of my passions because I've always wanted to be an engineer. And so I got a scholarship by the special grace of God to come and study mining engineering in Cornwall. As you probably know, is one of those areas that's, the metal mining capital of the United Kingdom. Upon successful completion of my degree in mining engineering there, I was so passionate about Nigeria, and I got back to Nigeria within, would you believe, less than 2 weeks of my completion. In those days, things were completely, different as opposed to today when people are trying to do jackpot and all that. But I could not wait to go back to Nigeria.
Yes.
I went back. I did my national service at the Kaduna Polytechnic in Kaduna State then. I was a lecturer in mining at the Department of Mining Engineering. After that, I went to work with the Nigerian Mining Corporation then in Jos, dealing with different types of mining operations. And I was later posted to Bauchi State to continue some mining operations there with a big operation supplying aggregates to a construction dam. I felt a passion also to go back into academics, so I joined the Federal Polytechnic in Bauchi as a lecturer in mining, in physics, and and surprisingly also in computing, because one of my passions then was also computing. So I started the first computing course at the Federal Polytechnic in Bauchi. After all that, I decided I needed to come back to UK for my postgraduate. Came back to the UK, and I realized that I needed to change course from mine engineering because I was getting more and more into the finance world.
Wow.
Before I knew it, I qualified as a chartered accountant. And since then, I haven't looked back, in the sense that I've worked with a number of organizations, including the Nigerian High Commission then, also into property, into insurance, into travel, leisure, healthcare, and many other industries, before I decided to set up my own firm that will provide accountancy services, business advisory to a number of organizations in the UK, which I've been doing for the past more than 20 years as a owner of my own firm, employing a few other professionals here in the UK.
Amazing.
So that's a brief background. A brief background.
Yeah, it is an excellent background. This must have prepared you for the job, because you are from home, you are here, in fact, going back to serve and coming back and getting knowledge of this place actually prepares you for the kind of assignment you are doing now, because CANUK is our hope. We're going to come to that shortly. We're going to be talking about CANUK itself, but let me stay one more minute with you. You said you are because I think I'm a big fan of geology, because Nigerians, we are so blessed, the land is blessed, and we don't seem to take advantage of what we have on the ground. The only thing we discovered so far has been oil and oil, but I think we have more on ground. And well, you're in finance now, so I will be putting you on that. But otherwise, I really want that. I was thinking you're going to stay in mining, because it's like we need miners. We need to bring these things from the ground, because it's the only one that the white man brought out. The oil is still what we have. There's so many things in our soil. And it is something that whether you live in the industry or not, we're going to need your services from time to time. Please take note of that. So we need your mining experience. We need it, sir. We need it.
Most definitely. The mining has not left me, and I've not left the mining either, because from time to time I do consult for people who need mining advice. Sometimes there are people who come and say, look, we have some investment proposal, but we want to look for credible mining projects in Nigeria. So, and that's why I come in sometimes, because I still have maintain my contacts with my professional colleagues in Nigeria, the Nigerian Society of Mining and Geology, which I'm affiliated to, and also we also work with the solid minerals, because some of the members there, or serving civil servants there, in a way, I've mentored some of them in a way. So we still maintain those contacts. Once a Nigerian, always a Nigerian.
Always a Nigerian. I agree.
Yeah. And I can assure you that the mining is going to be the next big boom for Nigeria and Africa as a whole, because anything you touch these days has to do with something that comes from under the ground.
Yes.
And therefore the minerals have not been exhausted. Yes, some of it has been tapped, but we have only scratched the surface as far as Nigeria is concerned. So watch this space.
We're looking forward to that. Anyway, for those of you watching, if you look, because this is my passion, I'm going to call on him behind. Don't worry. I'm interested in the mining. I'm interested in accounting. Our chairman here is more than capable to give you those two services if you need them. President, let's talk about CANUK. the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK. He said it all. What is CANUK, sir? Let's hear from your mouth. CANUK, what is it all about?
Okay, so think of it this way: it's the mother of all associations in the United Kingdom. So we have different types of associations. So whether you come from, let's say, Cross River State, and you want to identify with Nigerians from Cross River State in the United Kingdom, there's a Cross River State association here in the UK.
Yeah.
Or whether you are from Ijebu and you want to identify with just Ijebu people in the UK, there's an Ijebu association here also in the UK. So what am I saying? It could be a state-based association. It could be a cultural association. It could be even a professional association. We have the Association of Nigerian Chartered Accountants, for example. Here in the UK, ANCA. We also have PAC, which is the professionals in accounting and commerce. We also have even the Association of Teachers, and nurses and healthcare, and would you believe even Nigerian wedding planners?
Wow.
We have an association like that here in the UK. Yes, wedding planners. So you don't need to carry all your family to Nigeria to go and do a wedding. No. We have all the wedding planners here in Nigeria, in the UK, that will plan whether, how you want to do, whether it's the traditional Igbo wedding, the traditional Yoruba wedding, or traditional whatever wedding that you want to do here in the UK. There's an association for that. So professionals. We even also have critically all the various Nigerian student associations, whether it's NANS, whether it's the Nigerian Student Summit, or African Student Summit rather, because they're affiliated, and Nigerians in diaspora students, So all those student associations are all part of CANUK, and we have quite a large number of them, increasing, almost every week, because we have over 200 associations now, whether they're regional, cultural, student-based. And by regional, I mean, for example, if you have Nigerians living in Bolton, we have a Nigerians community in Bolton, Nigerian community in Greenwich, Nigerian community in Birmingham, you name the place, even Northern Ireland, we have we have a Nigerian community in Northern Ireland, Wales, everywhere you go. Unless you don't find Nigerians there, there is no association. So if we find Nigerians there, we encourage them to form an association, because local, can be a good focal point as well.
Yes. Amazing. So what would you say? I know you don't deal with individuals, but what would you think is the average population of Nigerians in the UK? I know you have very experienced, having stayed here for some time now. And what are the, because another thing is we have, do I say 3 generations? There was the first generation that came. We are almost 3 generations now. My generation and the younger ones now. How is this organization able to cater for them in terms of, first, let's think about the population and how CANUK is able to look across this, because if Nigerian embassy want to do anything at all, if they really want to do anything realistic, they can't do anything without CANUK, because CANUK is the only body that can really touch every corner from what I can see here. So, but what would you say is our population? If you know that, my next question will be how we using it to our advantage, because it would be nice if we are many that we have Nigerians in politics in the UK. We are no more first generation, we are now 3rd generation. So, and we should see Nigerians in businesses in the UK. I'll be coming to that, but let's stay. Do you have an idea of how many we are here for now?
So this is a conservative estimate. We're talking close to 3 million Nigerians in the UK.
3 million.
And it's conservative because, as you know, there may be some that have not put their hands up to say, hey, we are here, we don't come. Yeah?
Yes, true.
So it's close to 3 million, I would say, and that's being conservative. Because as you've mentioned, we have first generation, second generation, maybe third or even fourth generation. I'm aware of fourth generations, you know.
Okay.
And you know, Nigerians, we don't give birth to just one child, you know.
Yes.
We want our quiver full.
Yes, exactly.
So at this rate, you know, even in Nigeria, they're projecting by 2050 we'll have the population of about 450 million. So I'm not saying it's going to be the same thing here.
By then,
I'm not going to say it's going to be the same thing here. But if you take, even if it's 1% of that, that's 4.5 million.
Yes.
So we're thinking, you know, Nigerians in the UK alone, you know, will be close to that, you know, come, you know, in the next maybe 10 years or so. So at this rate, we have quite a lot of Nigerians in the UK. And because we're now being spread across the whole United Kingdom, because there's hardly any borough, and I mean it, any borough you go to in or any county you'd go to, you not find Nigerians residing and thriving, you know, across the whole United Kingdom. I've been to Scotland, I've been to Wales, I've been to the Southwest, which is where I first settled when I first came to UK, and there are Nigerians everywhere.
Amazing. So what would you say the aim, of course, the aim, and I'm happy now that they are going to register whatever you are, they are part of CANUK. What is CANUK doing in terms of bringing in kind of prosperity for these through Nigerians through this organization? Maybe put it that way. How do you work with this organization to make sure that they are able to make things better for whatever they do? Because perhaps that would be the essence of having CANUK.
Okay. So that's a very key question, because at the end of the day, it's what members always ask for, to say, look, what's in it for me? Yes. Why should I join CANUK? And so on and so forth. And there are a number of reasons why they should be members of CANUK, and we are members of CANUK, because the whole ethos, the whole reasoning behind setting up CANUK was because in the past, so CANUK has a history of being there for the past 20 years. And in the past, you know, people just formed their own organizations. There was a bit of defragmentation, and everybody dealt with problems, similar problems, using their own effort, you know. But the team approach, TEAM, together everyone achieves more.
Yes, together everyone achieves more.
Yeah, was the reasoning behind CANUK, because the High Commission then, in the wisdom of our, let's say, founder, the late Dr. Christopher Kolade, may so rest in peace, who passed away not too long ago. He sought to bring some normality into this, and he thought best to form an association called CANUK, which is the Central Association of Nigerians in the United Kingdom. So all those associations are brought under the umbrella, one umbrella of CANUK, so that there could be fair and effective representation at various levels. Because within the CANUK executive committee, we have a number of departments, not just finance, we have socials, we have welfare, we have passport, we have membership, we have even legal representation, we have publicity, and so on. And so within those various departments, if there are issues pertaining to welfare, the welfare department will handle it. If there are issues pertaining to passport, the passport committee will act as a bridge between either associations and or individuals to the Nigeria High Commission and other parastatals that would also be normally working, you know, towards passport and migration issues. And so it streamlines, as it were, the requirements of Nigerians, rather than everybody jump into the High Commission, for example, to say, oh, deal with my passport, deal with my welfare. The High Commission, much as he would love to, is not resourced to be able to deal with all those individual issues. But through CANUK, which is the umbrella body, it is able to say, look, okay, we have this issue here. Can you let all our Nigerians know A, B, C, D? I'll give you an example. Recently, which is just this month actually, we realized, or the NIMS, the Nigeria Immigration Service, realized that there was a bottleneck in terms of applications that people were making for new passports, renewals, and so on, in the sense that application deadlines, or appointments were, being extended, beyond reason to many people. And that's partly because of the festive period and partly because of the problem we mentioned earlier, population is growing. A baby that was born 2 days ago, before they can travel, they need a passport, So all that thing clogged up. And in its wisdom, the Nigeria Immigration Service, in collaboration with the High Commission here in London, also with CANUK and other diaspora associations like NIDO, for example, said they need to do an intervention to bring that waiting time down. And so we had to come up with a strategy. And this information had to be disseminated to all the Nigerians that will be affected. And so centers were set up in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Scotland, in Wales, and other cities, Liverpool, and so on, where people would, instead of all of them coming to London, would now go to those places for a quick intervention. And that has helped to ease the burden of Nigerians across the whole United Kingdom. So that's just one example of how CANUK can be effective in helping. So if you're asking for a reason, that's just one reason. There are other reasons, welfare issues, for example, which I could go on, but maybe I should leave hand over the mic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. President, you are leading us. You are leading us all the way. President, something I reserve for last, but let me bring it early because it might be very important, because very many watching us now, especially Nigerians from all over the world watching, especially those of us in the diaspora, something came to their mind. When I have issues, I go to embassy. It's always difficult to get this. No, the embassy is a small body. It's a population of 3 million people. How many staff do they have there? It's a lot of job which the embassy have to deal with. But for me as a Nigerian, I don't want to hear that. I want to get my things. I'm a Nigerian, give it to me. I'm entitled to this. So anything that delays it will be annoying. And I'm happy you've intervened in that area. So thank you very much. I'm sure the people are very happy to hear that. And I'm sure more, in case you have any issues, the CANUK are very friendly. You just go send an email, you hear from them. Even if you cannot hear from the embassy, CANUK will respond to you. But CANUK, let's look at one important thing. That is something I thought I shouldn't bring it, but I want to bring this in. We are Nigerians. We are here in the UK. We can't vote. This was not within the radar of our discussion, but let us look at this. Why? What is CANUK doing? The reason to make sure, or maybe to push so that those of us who are still Nigerians, who are not physically there now, we contribute to Nigeria. Most of the money we earn here goes back to Nigeria. I think we are entitled to vote, to contribute, to say something, especially when it comes to period of vote. But we are not allowed to vote. We can't even contest election. In fact, what is CANUK doing in this respect to see that we are integrated into the Nigerian society back home?
Daddy Kris, that's a very, very important question you've asked there, and one which I might say is like a raw nerve, or yes. Sometimes people might say is the elephant in the room, where we come to talking yes. about how the diaspora Nigerians can be part of the electoral process in Nigeria. Yes. And it's an issue that has been touched upon a number of times. In fact, it has reached, to some point, maybe even first reading, if I recall. I may be wrong, but I stand to be corrected. But we always keep pushing it. Why? Because, like you rightly said, the contribution that diaspora Nigerians make to the economy in Nigeria, I think is in the region of $25 billion every year. the last budget was not even up to that. The
Yes.
national budget,
Yes.
was probably less than that if you discount, the supplementary budgets and so on and so forth, So, and that is no mean achievement. So,
Yes.
it's very key and it's very important that Nigerians in diaspora are given a say in how things are done in Nigeria. Just like, everybody's given one vote in Nigeria. I think I'm not asking for 2 votes for each diaspora.
No, exactly.
But if it were possible, in terms of the contribution we make,
based on contribution.
Yeah, based on contribution. But we're not even asking for that. We're just asking for just one simple vote. And I think the Nigerian government realizes that, and they're not silent to it. And I'm hoping that very soon, because there's a group, in the diaspora. So it's not just CANUK. We have NIDO, which is Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, which is spread across all the various countries and continents, wherever you can find Nigerians, So we're making that effort to make sure that this cry is heard. I think it's overdue. And it's nothing new, because there are many countries that already have this in place. Yes. If you recall, a few decades back, what tilted the vote for George Bush Sr. was some votes that came in from overseas. Yes. Maybe that has something to do with why there's a delay. But all the same, we are Nigerians. We contribute a lot in terms of not just sending money, but each time a Nigerian goes on a holiday, or even for a funeral, or even for a wedding, or for a birthday, or for some other celebration.
Look at what we are doing now. Yes. We're talking to Nigeria. We do Nigeria. Yes.
Yeah, the contribution that we make is enormous. Yes, it may not all be documented, but the effect can be seen. When we do projects in Nigeria, some of us have, our small bungalow in the village, These days, there's no bungalow that you get for less than 10, 20 million, How many people locally and legitimately 10, 20 million to build a bungalow,
No.
And I use that word advisedly. So
legitimately, I use it rightly.
Yeah. So that is a huge contribution. Even if it's just 1/4 of diaspora that build one small bungalow, assuming it's 20, 30 million equivalent, that is a lot of money. And these are structures that are being used locally, enjoyed by the Nigerians back home, for most of the part, we don't enjoy most of it.
No, we don't.
So we are providing welfare, education, health, so many things that we actually provide. And there are many of us that actually work with certain foundations to actually prop them up, literally, to make sure that they survive, because we complement, shall I say, what government efforts there are. So because there's this relationship, I think it ought to count for something in terms of allowing Nigerians to be able to have a say. Yeah, having a vote is having a say,
Exactly.
So you cannot be taking with one hand and saying, well done, thank you. Bring investment, bring this and that. And then on the other hand, you say, when you want to have a say, they say, thus far and no more. No.
Yes.
But I know that the current dispensation will look into this critically and hear the cries of Nigerians who want to vote, have a say in the matters, back home. So yeah, thank you.
I don't think we should even just have a say. I think we should be able to contest election from here. And we will come that for as time move on. But President, let's look at this. I want us to stay here a little bit. I won't stay too long. I call us. This is when I look at the Bible, for those of them who are Christians, there's a time where the children of Israel sold their brother to Egypt, but he later rescued them when they were in trouble. So, and I would say we are the Joseph of our time. And if you remember, in Manchester was where the whole of Africans gathered. the few educated ones then gathered and went back home. They had a meeting. They went back home to say, hey, it's time to demand independence from the colonial masters, which happened. It was those of us in the diaspora that did it. In the present day dispensation, we can point out one or two things that is currently going on. Yes, we individually contributing, but perhaps what don't you think we are lacking in terms of that structural body or kind of mission to say, okay, let us go and influence agri production in Nigeria? I don't want to go into the political side of it. Let's go. Because Obasanjo just said something I can remember him. Obasanjo said, we don't need your money, we need your contact and your knowledge, which is the truth. Those of us in diaspora, we are knowledgeable. I'm sitting down here now with a geologist, a knowledge so needed back at home. And I was crying the other day, I was crying on my show, we need geologists, because it is the only way we're going to know what we have on ground. We are not aware. We are not. We're sitting on gold. We don't know. And things like that. So don't you think the Joseph of our time are not really doing their own bit too in terms of going back to deliver some of these areas? And let me make it clearer. Maybe if we look back home more, we actually contribute more to the UK. Let me put it this way. We have wood. I remember one time I was selling wood to people in Antwerp. They call it furniture company. They call the one wood called Yellow Apple. I saw it in Benin, put it on the container and sell. It was about 25 cubic meters, $25,000 then. That was what I was doing for some time. So that's to tell you there's a lot that we can take from home down here. And so much more that we can go and invest there. Now, as president of, I know you've got this experience now, you've been home and back. What do you think is some of the things we can do? And if they are there, like I've just analyzed, what is hindering it?
Okay, so that's also a very good question, as well as an issue that must be dealt with, because as you know, as a finance person, you know, we always encourage our national economy to do well, because if it does well, it will be in a position to export. Yes. We always talk about exchange rate, dollar, pound, all those things. You know, you can only improve on that if you're in a position to export and earn foreign exchange. So there are many ways you can earn foreign exchange, or you can get foreign exchange to the country. Either you produce and export, or you encourage foreign direct investment, or both. Yeah. So if any of them falls, then you will have all those issues with FX and so on and so forth. You know, because on the one hand, we're exporting people to come and get educated, and that also has an effect, an impact on our forex, the forex exchange rate. You know, because if you are sending people to come and study, if you are sending people for medical, if you are sending people for other tourism, they have to have that, you know, forex to start with. But if you are actually exporting, that will ease the pressure on the exchange rate for the naira. And so it's important, like you said, we have the resources. I, as a mining engineer, I do not wish to see us exporting raw commodities, you know, unprocessed, or we need to have value added, if you know what I mean. Yes. So we need to have, you know, the agile cutters working, you know. We need to have the steel rolling mills working. You know, I don't know if there's any of them that is still rolling, you know. No. Maybe they're not rolling anymore. So maybe we need to change the name, or still not rolling, but we need to get them still rolling, you know. Yes. So because when we produce, for example, minerals that we export, you know, in bulk, because we've not added value to it, you're only paying for dead weight, you know, and that puts an extra strain on your forex. But if you have mineral processing plants, if you have smelters, if you have all those value-added machinery in place, you will be able to actually increase the value of what you are exporting. Because come to think of it, you may not even need to export it. There are people who are actually demanding for finished products in Nigeria, just like we did with our oil. We are exporting crude oil before. Thanks
Yes.
to the new big mega refinery that has now eased that, the round tripping has stopped.
Yes.
So the same thing with all the minerals that we're producing at the moment, we're just round tripping them. When we bring in building equipment, we are still importing the same thing that we exported has now been processed into something that we can use for construction and so on and so forth. So why can't we do it within our country? Because if the demand is there, so our GDP will go up. Many people want to buy, but not at such an exorbitant price, because when you round trip it, it becomes more expensive. And come to think of it, it's the same minerals that we produce within our country. So we have lots of deposits across the country, whether it's iron, whether it's gold, whether it's silver, even coal, and also not to mention things like kaolin and so on. So we have all those resources that we need. We need to tap them, but we need to put the infrastructure in place that will actually process it, so that it's only the excess that we do not need that will actually be exported. And once we export that, we're able to get forex for it. The ones that we are able to consume locally saves on the one that we needed to have exported in the first place. So it's simple economics, but it takes the political as well as professional knowledge to be able to actually make sure that where there's a will, there's a way.
I agree. Yeah, I like it. Together, everyone achieve more. The teamwork. That is it. That is what CANUK is all about. CANUK, before I really want to put the interview here about our next generation or what we can do as Nigerians in the UK. For instance, I want to see a Nigerian running for the office of the mayor. If they have an Indian man as a mayor now in London, we want to be seeing that. But before I come back home, let me just throw one final thing for Nigerians. We want to go home. Many people I meet here want to go home. And sometimes they're scared that if I go home, I'm scared I will not have the right health care to take care of myself. Insecurity is down the corner. They're scared of the unknown also. And if we don't go, we've not done the job of Joseph. So how do you reconcile this? This is now you talking as CANUK president with a lot of experience talking to Nigerians. I'm not disturbing your office right here because I'm coming back to your office, what you can do for us in the UK. Because I take you away now, but I'm bringing you, because he's so knowledgeable. That's why I'm going there and back. So forgive me. Mr. President, what do you have to say to those of us who are scared? Yet we have a lot of potential, because if we go home, we actually will be more useful. That is the painful part of it. Most of the knowledge we waste here is more actually needed back home. You can imagine sometime an engineer here in the UK who could be used in constructing our roads is right here doing some meager job, whereas we are spending money to bring in Julius Berger to construct the same road. And I think it's something that is really painful sometimes when I think about it. But yet the engineer is afraid to go home. What do you have to say in that area as the president who have both experience? So you are more than, when I have somebody like you as our president, then we have hope. I'm sorry, it is the truth, because this is the kind of leadership we're looking for, somebody who can actually understand it. If you don't know, how can you propose solution? So that's why I'm happy to be with you today. That's why I'm digging there first before I come home.
Yeah. So that is a very crucial leverage that Nigerians can have in terms of being able to, I call it, diaspora investment. Yes?
Yes.
And you may not be aware, every year there is Diaspora Investment Summit that takes place in Abuja. Mm-hmm. And I want it to be even more frequent, because if you leave it once a year, okay, it's a start.
Yes.
But if you leave it once in a year, sometimes your dream may fizzle before the following year. Yeah. So, yes. But the aim here is to have a proper database one of people with those brilliant ideas, because if you have an idea and it's not being recognized, it's not being tapped, before you know, you get discouraged and so on.
I agree.
And part of the discouragement comes because we do not have a good pool of such ideas. I mean, Nigeria is such a big country, over 220, maybe 30 million people. Like I said, I've traveled from Sokoto to Cross River. I've traveled from Lagos to Maiduguri and everywhere else in between. So you see the diversity in the requirements there. But at the same time, we have resources that can be harnessed. Part of our problem in Nigeria, I would say, is the energy situation. Because whilst you can do things here with much more certainty, you know, if you are going to manufacture something, you are sure that the electricity is going to be there 24/7. So once those critical infrastructure are in place in Nigeria, and it takes a lot of effort, you will see more and more Nigerians going to set up factories in Nigeria. I've been to China, and the advantage, you know, the USP that China has is that they can scale up any factory, any product, even any service, because they have the infrastructure in terms of energy, in terms of roads, in terms of housing. I've been to a factory in China. It's a very tiny factory. It only employs about 5,000 people. It's a very tiny factory, but it has hostel, hospital, everything for all its staff. And the staff only need to stay there, you know, only need to go back to their villages during the Chinese New Year. They can bring their children, they can bring everybody, you know. And that's just one of the smallest factories. And Nigeria, we have so much land, whether it's agricultural land, whether it's a mineral production land, whether it's housing land, whether it's whatever land you can think of, you know, we have it, we have the resources. And so if we are able to fix, first of all, some of the rural roads, because when you produce something and you cannot take it, you know, safely to a market, these goods spoil. And when they spoil, it's a loss. And it discourages the farmer from doing more the following year. I do some farming back home. You know, I grow maize, I grow soya beans, I grow normal black-eyed beans.
Only Benue people do that. You must be from that area, because in fact, only people in Benue and maybe Plateau can make this statement you made now. Every other Nigerians, we forgot that part of our culture. I'm surprised. Yes.
So when I say I don't physically go there all the time, but when when it's possible, I do go there. So I send, you know, the necessary bits and pieces to get it done, and I can monitor what's happening. I can monitor the yield. I can say, look, I heard that there was rain yesterday. Why haven't you gone and planted? Why haven't you gone and put some insecticide? You know, why haven't you gone and started harvesting? Because everybody else is harvesting. You don't want me to be left alone. You know, that sort of thing. So there are ways you can monitor. These days with GPS, it's even easier. You know, so we are using the knowledge, but at the same time making sure that the people back home are part of that equation. I have talking about another sector now, which is health. We are encouraging a number of mobile health clinics. We have one of our good partners, you know, Mobi Health, you know, in CANUK. What she does, she can go to any rural village and set up a mobile health clinic, whereby you may not have all the qualified doctors on ground.
Yeah.
But you have telemedicine. And that has helped a lot of rural areas to have that access to good health, you know, and checks and so on. And the idea for this, you know, project is for people in diaspora to actually sponsor such health centers.
Yes.
You know, so you don't have to be a qualified doctor to provide health to somebody. But the Mobi Health, for example, will now have its own consultants, trained, seasoned, top class. They will actually go, if necessary, but they can drill down using, internet,
Yes.
to actually see what is happening and do the diagnosis and make the recommendation, and have a recognized legitimate pharmacy that will provide the right drugs, because that's another problem and another topic for another day.
We have a country, sir.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. So the possibilities are there for us to be able to work with people on ground, because it's a two-way street, and it can be a win-win for all the Nigerians, because take your passion, whatever it is, whether it's road construction, agriculture, mining, medicine, you name it. It's possible, because Nigeria's demand for everything is insatiable. That's why many travel abroad to come and buy this, to come and buy that, when we can actually set up these things locally and help ourselves, because the demand for these things, and we have to get out of the mentality of thinking only things from abroad is good. No.
Thank you.
Who are the ones making it abroad now? Is it not Nigerians? We are the ones making it. So we know the quality of what is expected, and we can produce it also locally.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You see, President, I'm going to bring you home now, but really strong message for Nigerians there. Please, instead of even sending the money home, because the money, instead of paying school fees doing that, invest your passion in your family. Let them be part of the job. Let them contribute to what you have bringing, and then it will be win-win for everybody. They will be more productive, they will be more active, and they will earn you money, and you are earning money for sending money home. We'll discuss that. It's a win-win. That's what the president has just analyzed. But President, let me bring you back home. We are here. Sorry, guys, for those of you in Nigeria, we are here in the UK. He's our president here. So let's talk Nigerians in the UK. Sir, I'm going to start first with the business side of it. When I go on the street of London, I go on the street of Manchester, what I see is Indian people owning all the off licenses. Now, if you go around, all the post offices are owned by Indians. Stop in any filling station to buy fuel, it's Indians. Nigeria seems to be missing in action. Why so?
So that is also a very good observation you've made, and it's one that is of keen interest as well as concern to the Nigerian community, because I think apart from the Indians, I'm not even sure if they are more than us, but let's say maybe they are slightly more than us, because you see more of them on the streets, but not just walking around. They're actually busy in busyness.
Yes.
And it's a message that we want.
Busy in busyness. I like that. They're busy in busyness.
Busyness,
Yes, sir.
And that's the message we want Nigerians to also imbibe. So the Asians have what we call a collaborative spirit. They can like a co-op, if you like, they cooperate with one another. One person can say, okay, or a group of people can say, look, let's help this person to acquire a shop.
Yes.
Or start this business.
Exactly.
Similar to our brothers and sisters from the East, the Igbo people. Yes.
System. Yeah.
They have this system whereby there is good mentorship.
Yes.
And I think mentorship is key. So this mentorship that they do, and it's a strong bond, because it has to be by trust as well. And I think we need to encourage this spirit of trust among Nigerians. Yes, some will say, oh, I'm from the West. Some will say, I'm from the North. So I'm say from... But the thing is, the United Kingdom people here, they don't say, oh, I'm from Wales, I'm from Scotland, I'm from Ireland. No, they work together, know. And the Asians, they also work together. So there's no reason why we as Nigerians cannot work together. Because even back in Nigeria, you have the presidency, you have, the cabinet is full of people from every state, basically. And so we should be able to have the same ethos, the same mentality to be able to work together as Nigerians. And that creates good discipline, good trust, because CANUK is like a mini Nigeria.
Yes.
It's a reflection of Nigeria. It's a microcosm of Nigeria. So
Yes.
we should be able to do that. And that is why, of recent, what we came about with is to have this, what we call Pioneer Fund or mentorship program for our young people. I know you probably want to talk about that later,
Yes.
but this
I'm
might be
coming
a
to
good
it now.
point to
I'm here.
actually
We are
bring
here.
it in.
Yes,
Let me
bring it
bring
in,
it in
sir.
because I think it's key. What it is our young people, children always copy what maybe their parents or their leaders do. Yeah.
Yes.
We want to change the narrative and say, look, we want to show you that there's a better way.
Yes.
Because if we don't show them now the Nigerian way, they could now go and be copying the other way that other people do things and end up in all sorts of problems. But we have a good pool of talent of Nigerians, young and older, who have all these bustling ideas in their minds, brilliant ideas. But when they go to look for funding or mentorship, somebody looks at their skin and says, maybe not. So we are saying we are big enough, we are bright enough, and we are brilliant enough to be able to do this ourselves. So we want to encourage all the young people, those behind us. Some of us maybe are getting on, but in terms of legacy, because this is where we see the future of CANUK, we want to make sure that the bridge is solid for them to be able to cross over from just being in the peripheral, to actually being part and parcel of CANUK, in the sense that they'll be able to participate, but not just participate. That entrepreneurship spirit has to be nurtured. And we do that by saying to them, look, bring your pool of ideas together. Sometimes if you ask 20 people, you may find that 3 or 4 are thinking of the same thing. Why don't they together, everyone achieves more, work together and make even a better product, a better service, a better app, a better everything? Because by putting your minds together, you'll come up. Research, most universities, if you go and do research, apart from maybe PhD level, if you're at first degree or even second degree,
yes,
a master's, they put you in a team.
True.
I'm an alumni of Oxford University. When we did our project, we were in a team of about 8 people from 4 continents. And we collaborated, worked together, and came up with a product that, was market ready. So it's about collaboration. And if you have that collaboration in mind, you can work out something even better. So we want to encourage our young people to be able to work together because they understand how things work.
Yes.
The Gen Zs, for example,
They do.
we're talking about 18 to 40 years,
Yes.
But even at 40, life begins at 40, so you cannot be ruled out as well. So when they come together, we'll be able to do something better than even the Asians are doing at the moment, because we know where we are coming from and we know where we're going.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much on that. If I couldn't ask for more. Now let's just look at one area, because this is very important as well. Look at our population in the UK. We're already 3 million, but sometimes we can be minority even within our own community. When we are supposed to be majority, but we are now minority. Why? If I want to run for an election, I'm interested in running to go for a councillor, for instance, in my community. Sometimes I just think, oh, I don't have people here. But if you look carefully, we are actually more sometimes. And if we sell, we don't take advantage of that. We can see now that we're here to produce a mayor in London. Even we are so many in London. The Indians have been there for so many years now. They have gotten their own prime minister. We pray that Kemi come out and be prime minister, at least to change the narrative for Nigeria. But let's look at it on the local level. How do we take advantage of our population growing in the UK, and especially those, if not for us now, young people coming up, the Gen Z we're talking about, they can't ignore politics. Politics is life. So how do you build that one in as well? As you tell them in business, how about politics?
Okay. So yeah, you did say you were not going to go into politics, but we're now into politics. it's
No, I'm just
inevitable. It's inevitable.
encouraging them to be part of it. Yes, yes.
So,
Yes.
no. It's a very important issue. And so, first of all, let me say, that we do have Nigerians in politics in the UK.
Yes.
Currently, within the boroughs of London, we have 3 Nigerians who are actually mayors. The mayor of Southwark, Councillor Sonny Lambe, whom you probably know, is the current mayor of Southwark. We also have Princess Bright, the youngest mayor in the whole of the UK. Who is the mayor of Barking and Dagenham?
Yeah.
And we also have Councillor Jason, who is the mayor of Islington.
Amazing.
The first ever Nigerian,
exactly. That is a very high.
Yeah. So this is just within London. We have a few others here and there. Some are either mayors, speakers, or deputy mayors. So the trend has been, has started already, and this is very encouraging for our young people because, like you said, if you are not in leadership, sometimes your voice is not as loud because these are the decision makers. Yes, it's a democratic system, but if you don't put your name in the hat, there's no way you'll be at the heart of anything, So we are encouraging our young people, and these are our mentors. So when we have events in CANUK, we try to bring as many of these community leaders to our meetings. They even address us, and also for the young people to see that it is possible, So, and they bring their full regalia, so that it's not, it's not something imaginary. When they go, wow, and come and see how the young people want to post, even the older people want to post pictures with them, and they put it on Facebook, social media, and so on. Yeah, so it is possible. Southwark, as you know, has the largest concentration of Nigerians in the whole UK. But in spite of all that, other places also have Nigerians as mayors. They may not have the largest concentration of Nigerians in the UK within that borough. But the thing is, it is possible. That's the point. We have many contesting. It doesn't matter what the party is. Just get your foot in through the door. Yeah? Because if you once you get your foot in through the door, you'll be recognized. One. And then secondly, you'll be able to influence decisions. Because if you are not able to influence decisions, you always be complaining, see what they have done, or see what they have done. But you have not been there at the heart of decision making. So we try to liaise with these various communities to say, look, if there's anybody that wants to contest for anything, tell us.
Exactly.
And we will promote you.
We will say it. We will shout it.
We will shout it. We will send it to SRTV,
Our project.
SRTV will make sure that we hear your name from all the nooks and the crannies, So it is possible. And because mayorship, for example, or councillorship, mayorship, for example, is only for a year, but you can be a councillor for 4 or 5 years, that sort of thing. So and it's from there. Interestingly, Southwark, one of the previous mayors is also a Nigerian. His late father was also a mayor. So you have two generations.
Mentorship. You see, if my father can do it, I can do it. I think that's the key. The mentorship, so the younger ones can see, yes.
So we want to see that legacy continue and spread across, because like I said, the CANUK stands in a good position because there's hardly any county or any borough you go, you will not find a Nigerian community. And what we are doing now is to try and encourage them to set up as a group, set up as a community, have meetings, get some of you to be ward, councillors or members, be represented, The good thing about politics here is that, it's not a full-time thing in the sense that in Nigeria, once you become a councillor, chicken, you stop doing everything else.
Everything, no.
But here, money is not the incentive at all. Yeah, it's about service, service, service. And if you have that spirit, you qualify to be a leader, councillor, mayor, or whatever position that you desire. And it's all possible. But we are here to support you, CANUK, irrespective of your party.
Exactly.
As long as you are not a loony left, whatever,
Yes.
Roving, or is it loony left, roving party?
Exactly.
Yeah, it has to be something that will help Nigerians as well. Yeah. So we are here to support you.
Finally, President. Finally, I will not, because if I stay with you, I will not. I will drag you, and I'm happy. But you are you're taking me where I didn't even expect. But let me drop this bomb in. I look around the UK, and it's something I learned from the Chinese, and it's a project I put on paper one time, and I look at it and I say, Daddy Kris, rest. But let me share this with you, sir. When you look at every country you go, the Chinese, they always have a village. You have the Chinese village in London. I know they have in the US. They have everywhere. Nigeria is more than ready to do that. Even the Asians may not be aware of this now. If we have that in Nigerian village, where, for instance, we have maybe every evening you have the Nigerian movies showing, the Nigerian nightclub, Nigerian shops will be there. In Nigerian village, maybe even where we provide accommodation, where people know this is Nigeria. When I walk in, I walk into Nigeria. That is a project I thought is long overdue. And I'm asking what CANUK might want to look into that area of our life, because we need to, because CANUK now is actually our village. It's just that we want to institute it on ground. That would be something I'll be looking forward to. I don't know what CANUK is thinking in that area.
Well, Daddy Kris, you're interested to know that in the past few years, we've been exploring that option by looking for what we call a Nigerian community center, which I think is a start.
Yes, it's a village.
Because once you have the center, you can build around it, and that is where you create the village and so on and so forth. Yes. So it's a very noble idea. We want a center, first of all, where we can have facilities, whether it's the food, whether it's the convention, whether it's weddings, whether it's whatever, that Nigerians love to do best, It could be a youth summit, it could be an investment summit, it could be any summit that helps to promote the good image of Nigeria. This center that we are looking at, we have some criteria. It has to, Nigerians may have to drive from different parts of the country, so it needs to have ample parking space. It needs to have where you can eat different types of food, whether it's your amala or your eba or whatever, or tuodemia, or edikankon, whatever, So ample facilities and things like that. We also want to have an educational resource center within that community, because it's good to have fun, but you must also learn how to have that fun, So you may even include a sports
like
facility.
You said, busy business in business.
Busy in business.
Not just busy for nothing. I think that
there has to be an outcome, a good product at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
You never go to a factory in China where it produces nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always an end product, and I saw it for myself, where they're employing 20, 30, 40,000 people. So we want to have a center that will have those amenities, but that thing costs money.
True.
And that is one of the challenges we are facing now. But we want to see how we can collaborate with third parties, even our government back home, to say, look, NIDCOM, for example, to say, look, support us, because this will help give Nigeria a very good image. It will become a focal point for Nigerians. Like you said, if Nigerians even come from Nigeria and they want to have a Nigeria village, it can become a tourist attraction.
Of course.
I mean, years back, I took my family to Disneyland. And if you go there, you get enchanted completely. You don't want to leave.
Yes.
Why? Because they have made the place look so exciting, you know? And there's something that, this is something that we Nigerians can also do, you know, in the UK, in the US, and also even in Nigeria, because we want to
Exactly.
encourage people to see our culture, see our traditions, see our food, see our fashion, you know, because and see our movies. Our Nollywood has to be promoted there. You can go there. Many people have come in the past 6 months or so trying to launch Nigerian movies, and this time they're renting Odeon, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes the audience is good, sometimes the audience is Odia, you know. So, but if we have it at a Nigerian center, can
That's
you
how we
imagine?
go.
It
Yes.
will be so packed that, you
All the
know,
time.
you get 4, 5, 10 screens even showing the same movie, you know, because our primary audience is the Nigerians,
Yes.
you know. So if you ask somebody to go and enter Odeon, they will think, oh, which movie is this? You know, you go and get confusion. You know, there's
Exactly.
different, you know. So that concept you mentioned is one that is in the pipeline.
Okay.
We haven't forgotten it, but it's something that, you know, God willing, will materialize. I'm not saying tomorrow or next tomorrow,
Yeah, we
but
understand that.
it's in the pipeline. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
Thank you very
project
much.
that we're working on,
Thank you
and
so
maybe
much.
you help us to promote it.
I will be more than happy. I'll be more than happy. And I'll be working with CANUK closely, because CANUK is an asset, it's an organization that we all need. In fact, we need CANUK more than CANUK need us. So there's no story about that. We all need CANUK. No story about that. Thank you very much, Mr. President. But let me just throw one word. Just only this area, because we cannot go into any other area. Then we're gonna be sleeping here. But let's just touch now. The African Nation Cup is on. Football is on the pipeline. We'll be watching the football today. And one would have expected, okay, what do we do? CANUK, you know, there's so much talent back home in Nigeria. When they watch this show now, they'll be listening, okay, what is the need for us, for those of us who are talent back home? And then the young people here, we have kids here as well. The opportunities are here. But it looks as if we are not part of those creating the opportunities. I know this is not CANUK, what CANUK should be doing, but maybe CANUK, do you encourage something in an area where it is a hole, there's a lacuna, where we just say, okay, let's go and let's see whether we can encourage Nigeria to put something together? Because the essence of having a football agent, if it's just a football agent, it's more than necessary. You hardly see, and even if it's an individual organizing it, he's going to be struggling because he probably don't have the resources to do well, like you said now. But if we come together, like together, everyone achieve more. That's something I'm taking back home from these things. I've written 2 things down, President, and you've educated me a lot, and I think Nigeria should have that. So with that in mind, no, as we watch football today, a lot of kids, you'll be surprised. After this match now, you see all them wearing Osimhen running around. You know, when I was growing up, when we finish watching football, we'll go and wear one shirt and run around our local field and begin to answer those big boys' name. You know, it's to bring in that spirit of there. But if we were able to provide a more open opportunity, if I have a night football club in Nigeria, for instance, I know them, maybe the winner of the Premier League, for instance, of Nigerian Premier League, there's nothing wrong bringing him to come and play 1 friendly, 2 friendlies with people here in the UK. That would be something that our so-called football agent could do, because that is another big money for us and for people back home.
Yeah. So, just to let you know that I'm also passionate about football, like you.
Excellent.
I still play football. We have our Kensington League here.
Okay.
And I'm the Okala. For those who don't know, the Okala is the goalkeeper.
Nice.
I'm the Okala. So I'm the goalkeeper.
You're the goalkeeper. You know Okala. Yeah. Okay, the younger ones may not know. Okala is
I'm the goalkeeper, but sometimes they'll say, look, Oga, can you go to the front as well and do a kickabout? So I do knock about in front as well. And once in a while I've scored. But so I love my football. And it's interesting to know that one of the categories that we've actually created in CANUK for associations is sports associations.
Wonderful.
And we have 2, maybe 3 at the moment who are also part of CANUK.
Okay.
And one of them is the Super Eagles Supporters Diaspora Club. You know.
Wow.
So they actually do promote whenever we have Nigeria matches, being played here in the UK, they do promote it so that as many Nigerians as possible can attend, which I commend them for that, and also you do know that every year there's this try whatever games that we do between Nigeria, Jamaica, and Republic of Ireland.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, every year,
Wow.
So, and I've been to a few of those matches before. Very exciting, and I've taken my kids there as well. They're not kids anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
And everybody there is involved passionately in supporting Nigeria, of course, to win. So your suggestion of having some kind of fan club, shall I say, a CANUK football fan club or sports fan club, shall I say, because Nigerians excel not just in football, basketball, and other games, table tennis, the atandas and so on, So we intend to make that a more solid fan club, whereby we can use that to promote, Nigerian performers, Nigerian athletes, even the athletics. There's another one that also is joining CANUK very soon, a former Olympic gold medalist, who, I'll mention the name in due course, who is joining CANUK very soon, So we have that in view as well, to make sure that Nigerians benefit from such athletics, whether it's football, whether it's other sports as well. So watch this space. That's what I'm trying to say. Because it's another way to bring Nigerians together. And there's so much to showcase, in terms of what Nigerians can do in sports. Even in boxing, you saw Anthony Joshua recently, the last fight where he was flying the Nigerian flag, and we were all clapping for him. And he won decisively in the 6th round, So there's so much to celebrate. There's another name. I want to do some name dropping here. Moses Itaoma, if you've heard of him before. He's a rising Nigerian heavyweight boxer. Moses Itaoma, you can go and Google him. I know the father personally because we studied together. So want to encourage people like that to be part of CANUK and showcase what can be done by Nigerians, even in diaspora.
Yes. Thank you, President.
And before I forget, I want to wish Nigeria the best for today's match, against Tunisia. I know we're going to beat them, maybe 2-0 or 3-0, So, this time I think Nigeria will leave the AFCON Cup.
Cup, yes.
Let's not talk about the World Cup.
No. We'll go to the next one. Don't worry. The next generation are coming. There's always the next one. Mr. President, just 1 or 2 words for your people, because you are now. I'm going to have you here from time to time to address Nigerians. So sometimes I will be expecting your yearly message, some messages from the president. I'm going to be the one personally pushing you to address Nigerians on issues, on very important areas of just a motivational speech, because you are our president that we know. We don't know any other one. I like what I actually saying, and our papa be this, so we don't get on another one. That's what they signal. You are the president, I know, and I don't have another one. So, President, what's your last word for your people today?
So I think in this season of goodwill, I want to wish every Nigerian, whether in diaspora or outside diaspora, a very, very, very peaceful Christmas and a very, very happy New Year. Let's continue to work together as one, because I remember after I think it's after the Civil War. Somebody coined a phrase for the then leader, Gawan, General Gawan. He says, "Go on with one Nigeria," you know.
Right.
And I think we need to imbibe that spirit to go on with one Nigeria, because together everyone achieves more. Have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful and a peaceful, prosperous, happy New Year. Come and join CANUK. Come and join CANUK. You know, if you're not yet a member, you have an association, or you're thinking to form an association, you know, get in touch. Our website is canukonline.com. You can drop an email to info@canukonline.com, one word, and we'll get in touch with you. We have very supportive members. You know, they are your servants. The ESCO are your servants. We're here to help you. And if you have any issues, it doesn't matter how trivial it is, please get in touch. Drop a line to info@canukonline, and we will get in touch with you to see that we meet your needs. So enjoy a peaceful season, and you know, support the Super Eagles even from today, so that they will come up with the cup and come up with the goods. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's wonderful, wonderful having you on this program. It's a pleasure. Like I said, I'm going to have you from time to time, and I can see more cooperation between us, between CANUK and every other person in the UK. And I really thank you for this hard work. You know, this is what we call a call to service. We recognize what you're doing. We appreciate it, sir. And most of the job you can never nobody get paid, but God will bless you. And we have our prayers, you have our support. We are loyal. That's the only thing we can do right now to say thank you. We appreciate your work, sir, and keep the work on. We are proud Nigerians. Like we said, we're all going to go on with one Nigeria. Wonderful slogan. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Daddy Kris. Thank you very much, SRTV, for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I've been honored. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year as well. Thank you.
So that's where we call it a wrap. You heard from him. I cannot say it better. I didn't have enough opportunity. My team are all on holiday. We couldn't promote the show as it's supposed to be. But if you're watching this, please help me to spread the words of the president. It cannot be better. Please help me to spread the word of the chairman of CANUK. In case you get it wrong, CANUK stands for Central Association of Nigerians in the UK. He said it all. Central Association of Nigerians in the UK. It is the body. They recognize all. In fact, if you have any organization, you go and register with it. They don't register individual, only organization. So if I have an association, UP UK, go and register. So UK, register. This is the body you're going to call upon when you have something doing. And sometimes different associations in the UK, all of you that come to me from time to time, this is where you need to be. Because when you need people, when you need help, when you need support of your own people, this is where you're going to get it. Because the funny thing, they have all the contacts. They have 200 already registered bodies for you to work with. How can you get that wrong? It's a blessing to have CANUK, and we should be proud. And I want to say to every Nigerian organization here, if you are not a part of an organization, form one and make sure your organization is a part of CANUK. That's where I call it a wrap. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Daddy Kris, and this is the African Renaissance Television. It's a blessing. Like my president said, it's very Merry Christmas. I know you have it, and I wish you all a prosperous 2026. It's going to be a great year. Thank you all. Bye for now.
Find your sanctuary in the heart of the city. Live the life you deserve in an exquisite apartment. SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Lagos, is a place where your comfort is rest assured. Welcome to SRTV Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. Why choose us? Prime location, nestled in the heart of Lagos, close to key attractions, business hubs, and vibrant nightlife. Modern interiors, fully furnished, stylish apartments designed to provide the ultimate comfort. Luxury redefined, vacation perfected. 24/7 security. Enjoy peace of mind with round-the-clock security and CCTV surveillance. Top-notch amenities, high-speed Wi-Fi, smart TV, air conditioning, fully equipped kitchen, and lots more. Perfect for business travelers, family vacations, romantic getaways, special events, and more. Book your stay today and experience Lagos like never before. Call +234 8143 582856 or +447 4388 93190 or email us at realestate@superiorradiotelevision.com. SRTV Chocolate Apartment, where comfort meets luxury.
That is either we reform the judiciary, which is allow INEC to be under the judiciary, or we need a world police to police us.
Okay, Kris is there. Yes.
They use just
because the activity